Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, we are on YouTube. We are on live, and we weren't here for the morning session. The computers were up though and running, and we've continued with the very same program that we were running since Sunday night. Now, the program did not get short overnight or into this morning. Reason being is we took a short yesterday afternoon. We made a nice buck on it and we took it off. And so the program never had a chance to cycle back into it. And we made what we made, which yesterday was about $1,200 or so, or that's what we are for the week. And then later this morning, it did in fact see an opportunity to get long. It took that long trade. It's still in it. And you can see by virtue of this position window that it did have a draw of about $1,000, but it has breaks on it. So it wasn't going to get outrageous. And it is up. So this time we're not going to intervene. This particular strategy is a slow trader. It isn't going to trade a whole lot, and therefore we're going to have to let it run and do its thing. Now, since Sunday night, we have had only at this point, I want to say no more than 3 or 4 trades. We came into this morning up 1,200. So they're about, so if we were to close it right here, right now, we would be up about 2,300. I think not I think, we most certainly would have been up much more, maybe at least twice than that, had we just let the machine continued to run last night. And I needed to shut down. I needed to take that profit because I did want to shut down the computers to recalibrate and refresh the computers. And although I could have done something where I stayed in the trade and just had the strategy assume what we call a real world position and continue. So if you have any questions on YouTube, feel free, place them in the chat. We're here. Swing Machine again had a big run up this morning, and now the market is flattened out. Come back in. Good afternoon, Tina, and good to see you. I hope you had a good morning. But the machinery is having another very good day, another very good week. So this particular strategy is going to be really good. We're excited. We're going to be getting this out to our members probably this weekend, out to all, and with some instruction on how to use this. So we're gonna let you all watch, and maybe there'll be others floating by on YouTube. Thank you, Tina. Tina's always out there and doing her thing. This is it Jeffy? Jeffy, you're on a bit of a delay. He's asking, hello, could you share what the max drawdown is? There's a lot that you're looking at, so I'm not sure what you're referring to. So you'd have to be more specific. But if you're asking about the specific trade we're on right now, this trading robot that you see in the upper left-hand corner, that is up 1,080. On this specific trade, it had a drawdown of 1,065, had a run up of 1,480, and is up 1,200. We've been running this robot since Sunday night, measuring it against the back test. And prior to this this trade, we had a drawdown of $816. So that is the specific answer to your specific question on that strategy. Let us know if there's anything else. Please understand, these are dynamic strategies, dynamic tools, and dynamic markets. So specific, drawdowns and everything, I'm happy to address, but I hope as a trader one understands how, more importantly, how to use that information really. We're not the point being is I'm not selling any individual program. We're not. All of our programs are available for those folks that choose to become members to Stock Market Caddy, go through what we call a Q school, and it shows a degree of commitment on their part and on our part to learn, and then they get everything that we have, and they get to make the decisions that can impact their trading career. There's a lot of things that you have no control over when it comes to the markets, but there are a lot of things that you can control. A lot. So we do these YouTube videos just to create a little awareness as to who we are, how we go about our trading, but we're not trying to demonstrate an outcome. You're seeing it. We've got quite a few hours on this. This week we've given folks a pretty good view. Whoa, do you hear that thunder in the background? We're getting a hell of a lightning storm here in Tampa. If this ends abruptly, we may have lost power, but we got backup power, but we won't have enough backup power to power all the video and YouTube and whatnot. But we'll have enough power to manage our trades. But we're getting a hellacious summertime thunderstorm here. This time of year, it's very, we need it to cool things off. But it's your chance to ask questions, really. That's, about who we are, what we're about, and how we approach it. If you look at Swing Machine, now there are trades being presented here. We're not taking these trades today, but and it had a very, very big morning, right? It had a very, very big morning. But in fact, if you go back and look, we were live this morning, well before the markets opened. There's another big banger. So let's hopefully we don't get hit here. So we look at this is interesting to us, right? So look at the VIX. The VIX this morning went long at about, I want to say about 7:30 or so. And then 10 minutes later, the markets turned down and had big run-ups. Now look at the VIX here. It goes short at 1255. Now in this instance, sometimes the VIX leads and sometimes it reacts too. But here is the ES on a 5-minute interval. And at 1235, If you had taken this trade, you are in fact up $350 with a mini contract. A micro, you're up 35. 10 minis, you're up 3,500. On the NQ, it also went along at what time? 12:30. And it's up 500. The Dow, 125. And then the Russell, 120. So in the span of 10 to 15 minutes, which is not unusual. How and why does that happen? It's because the markets are commoditized. They're a commodity. They're like lumber, corn, wheat, live cattle, gold. Gold, in fact, is trying to get long right here, right now. And then oil got long at 1250. The strategy that's right here did not short overnight, did not short this morning. The reason being is it had already had a short yesterday afternoon, and we took profit. We manually went in and disengaged the trading robot, took the profit, recalibrated all of our computers, refreshed them, turned it back on, and let it run overnight. And it never cycled through to get short again. So while the market was selling off this morning, Swing Machine, yes, was up a ton, and we have members that made a ton, but the strategy didn't enter any. But later, mid-morning, a little later in the morning, I wasn't here for it because the machine did it. I actually was not here for it. It went along. That's this trade right here, reflected right here. And this is the one where it did in fact have a draw of 1,065 and is currently up. The average payout on this strategy over the last week or two, the average payout, the average winning trade on the long side is about $2,300. So we're in no rush. The average winning trade when you combine them both is about 1,700. That we can tell. That is an average, right? That is looking back. A back test is just that. It's a back test. It is a model. It is what we use to measure our performance and to be able to make adjustments. Make sense? Folks that maybe are new to this or just have some idea of what they think this isn't a trading robot like you would go buy an iRobot and vacuum up, dog hair around your house. This isn't going to automatically vacuum up money. You're not going to just order it, buy it, plug it in, and have it, vacuum up money. You have to learn how to use it. And so it's there's no jumping the shark, so to speak. I hope that makes sense. But we literally have 65 to 70 proprietary show me studies, indicators, paint bars, radars, and trading robots. So, and these trading robots can be traded on time bars, tick charts, point and figure, line break, did I say range bars, Kagi charts, all kinds of configurations. And they can be run at different hours of the day. They can be run on different markets. So, I can't answer, and it's really not relevant how a particular or a specific strategy, what a drawdown is on a specific market. It's important when it's in your hands because you'll need to know that information. But more importantly than knowing the information is how to work with that information. And that's what we spend our time doing going through the Q School. Back tests are, they serve a purpose as being a model they can tell us and help us decide, whether or not a particular strategy is robust and can and show us that we should hopefully produce, but also to a back test or even an optimization can help us capture the flavor or the tempo of a market. So when should you optimize and how frequently should you optimize, and those sorts of questions, right? And, a person, an unscrupulous person, and they're out there because we see them, can take a whole basket of moving averages and a whole basket of this and that and mix it all together and throw it all together and run an optimization backtest and do something that's called curve fit the result and show you this beautiful looking equity curve and try to sell you that program for $7 or $8 or $10,000. I've seen some of them, and you plug the thing in. Not only does it not perform, but you got no education, no idea how or why it was supposed to work, and or how and why you would even begin to make adjustments, if you can even make adjustments on it. So we slow the whole process down. You can get your hands on our tools. You just can't buy them. You have to be a member. And to be a member, an annual member, to get these tools. Monthly member, you don't, monthly member is a video view every night of the algos and that's unlimited. But to be an annual member, we limit that to a certain number of licenses every year. You must go through once the Q school. It's in your interest. It's in our interest. We want you to understand how to go about using these tools, making sure it's a good fit, and we slow the process down. Does that retard our sales, if you will, at Stock Market Academy, retard the number of members? Yes, most definitely. And that's just fine. We have a limited number of licenses every year. Last year, we stopped issuing new licenses. I think it was around November 1, then resumed in January. We will grow at a certain clip each and every year to the extent that we can, provide the services that we feel that we need to do. And that is really, it is very, very individual. So we can only do, a few. Q school is only at most 2 to 3 people at one time. So any case, we'll let you watch and we'll let the strategy run. If you got any other questions, Jeff A, I'm not sure what part of the world you're in. Thanks for the question. And the backtest result on the right bottom. Oh, this one here. Yeah, this is actually would be updated. This yeah, so this is the strategy that's running this, right? This thing up here. So the SMC Stinger, this is the back test. The SMC Stinger strategy has been running since Sunday night. I put this here last night on July 5th. So this is July 6th. At that time, we had a profit of about $1,280 some odd dollars, I think it was. And we had a profit factor of 2.56. Up until that time last night, the max drawdown was $816. So we didn't have any more trades overnight, and so today we've just added to the profit, and I can tell you, I can run a report and tell you the profit factor since we've been running. So let's see if we can get that. Yeah, we had done 1282. Yeah, it's not including this trade. So before this trade, we were at 1282 for the week in money, a profit factor of 2.56, 2.57 if I round it out. 3 trades, only 3, 66% profitable. The biggest losing trade was 817. And and then we have this trade. So if I went up and disengaged the strategy right now, we would tack on another $1,400 to our column this week, and we'd have about $3,500 in our bank, and we'd probably have a profit factor of 4 or 5. And the worst drawdown that we would have had, intra-trade drawdown, would have been this one right here at about 1,000. There are technical exits in in the strategy, and we can tell, historically, but we're still running and keep, it's not a good idea that you just, set these and forget them. But we don't expect to have any what we would call a negative outlier. We want positive outliers, but that makes sense. It's really not possible to I was listening to somebody, was interviewing. It's one of these financial podcasts, and the guy is, it's fine. He is what he is, and he's being interviewed, and he's telling his host that is interviewing him that in his estimation, the S&P is going to go up 70% over the next 6 to 7 months. It's going to go up to like 46 or 4,700, I think. He was calling out some numbers. And it's going to happen in 7 or 8 months. And then once it gets to 47, 4,800, it's going to turn around. And over the next 12 months, it's going to come down, 80%. Folks, I don't know. He might be right. He very well might be right. I don't know if anyone's going to be around to know if he's right or wrong, or will remember it, or, he'll come out. But that's not what we do. That isn't what we do. The market was going down this morning in swing machine. If you were trading swing machine, you were short. We were trading the strategy. If we hadn't taken the trade off yesterday, we would have been short. We would have been up a whole lot more than what we what we are right now. So for us, it doesn't matter where the S&P goes. If it goes to 5,000, goes to 6,000, if it goes to 2,000, it just doesn't matter. We're trading the liquidity. We're moving our capital in and out, not all the capital at once, a proportionate amount. We're trading with surgical precision. We're getting in and getting out. We're flying a bombing mission, if you will. Or if you're a fighter jet, we're flying in and we're flying out. We want to get back home safely. Susan is in cash every single night, completely in cash. I, on the other hand, will carry positions into the evening and overnight, and I'll use the machinery to do it so I can get a good night's sleep. But that's what I choose to do. Everyone's results will be different because the markets are so deep. Everyone's results will be different because they will be trading different markets. They will be trading different time frames and intervals. They will be trading different strategies. They will be trading different amounts of leverage. They will be trading, with different expectations. Maybe, we have a person or a member that, wants to get into the market at, 4 or 5 in the morning and be out in an hour or 2. If that's the case, the strategy that we're running right here, this stinger, would not be the strategy I would suggest. But they would learn that themselves. So, we coach everybody how to vet these strategies out, and help decide what they might want to be running. Now, at this point, the average winning trade is $1,700. And we know that from the back test, and we are in fact up $1,700. So there is a decision to be made. Tina, what are you going to do? Are you taking the 1,700? I don't have to ask Susan because I know what she's going to do. She's probably going to take it. She might stick around for a little bit, but probably going to take it. Tina probably knows what I'm going to do. She's heard enough of these YouTube videos. I'm not. I'm going to let it run. Today, I'm going to let it run. We still got plenty of time. It's 10 minutes of 3. And we got a lot of people that got short this morning in that hole, got themselves really excited, and they could decide that this is a bit of a trap and decide to cover. And if they cover, this market's going to run like a son of a bitch right back up. This little comment here that we made last night, yes, I think this is yes, take it. Yeah, I got it. We'll see how we do. The market pullback, wasn't saying a market crash, wasn't saying market pullback, right? That's what we put. And I think we got a market pullback. Now it could continue. What is really, really good about our tools and our approach, and Swing Machine in particular, is that it cannot get by us. The market cannot make a move and us not see it. Now, whether or not you take action or don't take action, is up to each individual person, but Swing Machine is not going to vary. It's going to be the same. All of our members that have this configuration on Swing Machine, which most probably do, they have the exact same numbers we got. It can't get by us. So if you did go short this morning, maybe you chose not to go long, and maybe you just chose to, take this buy signal that came off of Swing Machine as an excuse to take your money. Or maybe the information of the back test is your excuse. As Tina just said, hey, if the average winning trade is 1,700, I'm taking it and I'm just going to put it in the bank. That's okay. That's totally okay. But that's why the results will be varied. And, so we are very impressed with backtest information. Or I don't know if impressed is the right word, very aware of the backtest information, namely profit factors, what's most important, percent profitable and average run-ups and red downs. That's all very good and all important. But I think it's important to us so that we can help manage the trade. What I have to guard against, and I do guard against this, is folks that come through on YouTube that don't understand what we're saying, don't understand what we're doing, and they're trying to jump the shark mentally, saying, oh, wow, this strategy, made, in 1 week, $6,000. Wow. If I could get my hands on that, that means next week, if I have that in there and I don't know anything of what I'm doing, I'm going to make 6,000. That wouldn't be a good assumption. That would be a bad assumption, right? So that's not to say that one of our members might run this next week and do more than that, but they got the skill set to make decisions on how to set it up. And if you don't know how, that's okay, right? The first step of learning anything is coming to grips with, I don't know how. There's plenty of things that I don't know how to do. Don't know how to do that. I had to teach surgeons for 25 years how to work with some of the most sophisticated instrumentation of the day. Go figure. I never even had, I had one biology class. Don't ask me how I got involved in that, but I did. and was it overwhelming in the beginning? Yeah. How in the world am I going to teach a surgeon how to use an advanced surgical instrument on a specific procedure when the only biology course I had was in high school, and I didn't even sit at the Bunsen burner. I was back with, 4 or 5 other guys building the teacher bookshelves, because he wrote us off. You said, guys, you guys aren't going to be scientists. You're not going to be, you're nice guys. But he didn't want us disrupting his class, which was probably at the time a pretty good thing because I wasn't really that interested. I had other interests in the 10th grade, and it wasn't in Bunsen burners, and it wasn't in science. But when I grew up, um, and had an opportunity, and so I was taught, how to do that by companies that spent a whole lot of money on us, and they taught us. But I had to have an interest, which I did, and I had to have a passion, which I did, but also because they were footing the bill, time was of the essence, and it was very compressed, and we were held accountable. If we didn't maintain certain grades, we were going to be going, do something else with our life. We weren't going to be doing that. Trading, the admission, the bar, so to speak, to the trading game is very, very low, right? And I say the trading game. There's a lot of people that say they are traders. Yes, they buy and they sell and they buy. But are they trading for a living? We are. When the admission, back to the admission, with the admission to the game is very low. Anybody who has money can go to a brokerage firm and put it in and fire up a computer and start buying and selling and selling and buying, and they're in, and they can anoint themselves a trader. What do they learn? Do they go through anything? Do they just take, a couple of free classes here or there? I don't know. I don't know. But if you're going to go through the Q school at Stock Market Caddy, I do need to speak with you over the phone. I do. Because I'm going to spend 3 weeks of my life with you. And I do not, number one, want you to waste your time. And if I get an indication from talking with you, chatting with you, that I think that you might be, I'll tell you that. Now you'd be wasting your time. And I don't want to waste mine. Now we're not, we're not raising the bar to a super level, but there's a certain level that that we know from other folks where that bar needs to be, and there is a bar, and a lot of it stems from having the passion to to want to do this, right? I'm not an ass, but we want to make sure that you're making the best decision for you, and at the same time we're making the best decision for us. There are other services out there that will provide you buying and selling signals, if you will. Good luck with that. That's not us. Do our tools provide that? Yes, but the decisions are yours. And some people want that, some people don't. And we're just, brutally frank with that. The people that that we will resonate with, we just we think that those that hear our message, if our message resonates with them, those are the folks that we want to reach. If it doesn't, those are the folks we want to stay clear of. And I mean it, because I've had one person, I've had a number of people, almost every day, but I had one in particular, and he's like, "Oh, why the hell do you make all those YouTube videos? You don't even give me any buy and sell signals. You don't even make any claims. Why the hell should I belong to you?" No, never going to reach that guy. And hopefully he blocked me, or, and if we, I just never sent him anything again. I never, want to annoy anybody. I don't want that. Don't want them. Don't want them. Those people are looking for something that doesn't exist. And if you're looking for something that doesn't exist, whatever it is in life, you will be disappointed. You will be, because you're not going to find something that doesn't exist. And if you do find that something that you think exists, and then when you find out it doesn't exist, then, you will also be disappointed. So I want folks that are, ideally on terra firma, and have a realistic view of their own expectations, and we can, and I love being challenged. So I'm not dogmatic. I love being challenged. I learn every time somebody comes through Q School. I absolutely do. So I love that. But I wanted to have a good intellectual conversation. I have a gentleman, he may be on YouTube now listening, and I could read you the email. But I won't. But he sent us a note, a very nice note, and he said it first. He said, "Well, bag it on. I'm looking for a system." This is what he said. "I'm looking for a system to give me a buy or sell decision on the S&P futures from one day to the next. Will your system do that?" Okay, so how do I answer that? How do I answer that? Do I just say yes, come join? Or do I take in a few extra minutes and say yes, it does do that, but do you understand that our system will not only give you a buy and sell decision from one day to the next, they can give it to you from 1 minute to the next, 5 minutes from the next 10 minutes. And do you understand as a trader what the risk of trading the S&P will be from one day to the next when you get it wrong, and you will get them wrong? And do you have an understanding of all that? And so much more valuable, what I tried to say in the short email, it's much more valuable than any one strategy, whether it be Swing Machine or the Nicholas, or we got so many others, giving you a specific signal for tomorrow, is the education that will come with it, so that you can discern not just the decision for tomorrow, but maybe the tomorrow after that, the tomorrow after that, and the tomorrow after that, and you can learn to manage. He writes back, "Well, I understand all that, but is it going to give me a decision to buy or sell the S&P the next day?" He asked me exactly the same thing. So then I'm thinking, okay, do I not have a critical thinker here, or is there a failure to communicate? And if I have somebody that we can't communicate, then I can't let 3 months, no, excuse me, I can't let 3 weeks, I can't let a person come into the Q School for 3+ weeks when we can't communicate. And what should take 3.5 weeks is going to take 6 months or a year. Right. I did have I've had 2 people that have been very frank about that opted not to go into an annual membership following the Q School. Only 2. One was computer challenged, and I think he sold himself short. The other person disappeared on the 3rd week. I thought he got hurt. Thank goodness he didn't hurt, like in a car accident or something, or got sick. Fortunately, he didn't. And then he popped up on the last day, like on Thursday, and he just was just not in a good place. He just kind of like disappeared the last week of the Q School, and he was kind of frustrated with it all. And I was a little bit taken back, and I said, geez, I don't, we make ourselves available each and every day. And I was all set up. I had worked really hard that weekend to get his views up and to be able to speak with him, and had a whole agenda of things that we wanted to teach him. And he was not around. He just didn't show up. So we talked about it, and then, and I said to him, I said, well, I tell you what I'll do. You want to go another week? Do you want another shot? I mean, I'm disappointed that you kind of blew me off for a whole week. We wasted some time here. I was prepared to show you all this, 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 and he was never around. And I said, would you like to go another week? And you know what he said? And rather than saying, Don, that would be very nice. Thank you. I'm sorry I missed a couple of days because I was an ass, and I wasted some of your time. But if you give me an extra week, that'd be great, and I'll take advantage of that. No, he didn't say that. What he said was, you know what? This is ridiculous. This stuff you're teaching, it would take me a year to learn this. That's what he said. Exactly. And you know what I said? I laughed. I laughed. I found it funny. I still find it funny. And I said to him, you're wrong. It's not going to take you a year. And he goes, it isn't? I said, no. It's going to take you a lifetime. In fact, you're going to be one of the folks that we trade around every day for the rest of our lives. You're never going to learn it. And I'm not going to waste another 5 minutes with you. So my offer to stick around, I said that was it. And that was him. True story. True story. This is a very independent endeavor. And we work very, very hard every day. And we got a lot of great tools, a lot of great information to challenge you. You will challenge us. You will learn. We will learn. And what I can promise you, although I can't promise you an outcome, I cannot promise you. I can't promise you what you want, which is a guarantee. I can't. Nobody can. I can't even, the market won't even promise me that. Nobody will promise me that. I have to come in every day, every week, and we have to do what we do. And within the confines of our risk. But I can promise you, you will never look at the market the same. You will have fun, and you will learn a lot if you have a mature perspective. And I've met many a person, both younger than 25, that are very mature. And I have met a lot of 65-year-old immature, ridiculously immature. So it's got nothing to do with age. And it's got nothing to do with the level of trading experience. We've had folks that had come to us with no trading experience, and we've had folks come with trading experience that dwarfs my own. And I've learned a lot from those folks too. It was very and that's fun. I don't shy away from it. I come at this each and every day, not being the smartest guy in the room. I will arm wrestle you and everyone for that right that I am the most ignorant person in the market. Everyone else knows much more than me. They just do. I don't, I'm not saying I'm dumb. I'm not saying I'm ignorant, but I am saying that when it comes to knowing what Google is going to do and what Apple's got on their plans and this medical company and that company and this company and yada, I don't know anything. And I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know. I don't want to have to follow the management. I don't want to have to follow the new products. I don't want to have to follow their lies. I don't want to read their 10Ks. I don't want any of that. It's just too much time out of my life. I just want to track money flow so that I can go up and can make a trade and cash it I still got this trade. Now, I'm going to let this trade run itself out here. Yesterday, we did in fact close it in the afternoon. It would have been better to have let it run. And we're having a good week. When I think about it, Susie's looking. Um, maybe we should. I tell you what, Susie's nodding, take it. Tina's telling me, take it. So let's take the trade. So I'm going to disable the strategy. I'm going to close the position. Instinctually, I would have liked to have kept it, but you know what? There's always another trade. I can go back, turn the strategy back on, which I'm going to do, which is what I did yesterday. And if the market cycles through and we get another opportunity, then we will get the trade. I can now go in and look at the performance. If Fefe is still there and he wants some of the trading specs, and I don't blame him. So let's go get them for the week. Let's tell you exactly what this is. Let's see here. Oops, I'm sorry. Trade manager analysis. I got to go back. I'm going to generate a report. So our profit for the week, Tina will be interested in this, and the members that are listening on YouTube, is $2,765.40. Our profit factor is 4.38. 4.38. We've made $4.38 for every dollar we've expended, including commissions. The total number of trades all week, 4%. Profitable, 75. The average winning trade, 1194, a little bit lower than the model. The average losing trade, 817, better than the model. What else can I tell you? I can tell you a whole lot of other things. Average time between trades, between 9 hours. 9 hours is the average time, 9 hours and 8 minutes between each trade. So we may not get another trade until tonight or tomorrow morning, maybe. My machine will be on and we'll take that trade. The average time in trades on the winning side, 3 hours and 28 minutes. That's the average. And so we'll collect this data all week, which is what we're doing. And then we're going to have it for tomorrow. And then over the weekend, we're going to compare that data to this data. And we will begin to make some judgments. Then we start to make judgments. That's going to be up to each person, and we're going to videotape that. And we're going to show our annual members how we do that. And then we're going to share with them the conclusions that we will reach. And then we'll begin to send out this particular, for those members that don't have it yet, we'll send it out. And then they will start running it, and they maybe run it a little differently and whatnot. But if you're just passing through on YouTube and don't have the Q school, it's next to impossible, to begin to run anything if you don't know how to set it. Thanks for stopping by. Get any questions, let us know. So again, that's the results this week. It's only this week. I think it could have done much better. We're in the house with $2,765, a profit factor of 4.38, and a 75% winning percentage, better than our backtest model. This weekend, what we'll do is we have a few members that have this. We're going to bundle it up. We're going to make a video view of all of our notes and commentary, and we'll send it out to our annual members. We're going to continue to run it next week. We have some other ideas on what we can do to maybe improve it, but give it a little bit more optionality. We will continue to update that as time goes on. If it passes muster, which I think it will, with all of our members that are in the beta group, actually, they were going to send this to all the members, actually, but it'll ultimately, if it passes muster after a few weeks, few months, then it will get added to our library, and it'll lose its beta connotation and be available for for everybody. A lot that we can do here. Now we've just been running this only on the NQ and running it only on a Renko chart, right? Beautiful, really, really nice. Very pleased.